Hello everyone, welcome to our final release of SAP DataSphere. Before we kick things off, let's start with a quick introduction. My name is Stan.
And I am Selwa.
And we are both analytics experts at Flexo. We will start with a quick overview of all the new DataSphere features. So here we start off in general with our object release state, something that we've been looking forward to know more what it is about. And as well, in our data integration, we have SQL on files, Spark Compute for data transformations, as well as a semantic onboarding, so the import of the HANA calculation views, and as well as flexible prompting for variable values of analytic models. Let's get right into it.
Yes. So the first one is also the one most are excited about, which is the object release state for the views. So this feature ensures stability in our data modeling. So we have 4 different states. We have the not released, released, deprecated, and the decommissioned. And something important to note is that once we are in the release state, we have to wait at least 2 years before we can go to a decommissioned and to delete the view. And from the deprecated, we have to wait at least 1 year. So there is a bit of timing that you have to take in consideration.
Okay.
So let's see a more visual example. So here we have a view which is currently in the not released state, and we are going to change it to released. So we're going to deploy, and we get a warning which says that we're changing states. You can just deploy anyway and then save. So right now it is released, and we will add a quick calculation to see what will happen. So we will add a calculated column. We will add a integer in it, and then we will deploy our view again. So we will see no errors, which is very good. But if we will delete the same view, the same column we just created, we get an error message, which is because in release state, we're not allowed to delete columns. We are allowed to add, but we're not allowed to delete. So that's something important. So let's see an example of the deprecated view. So we will change the state to deprecated, and we will get an error message immediately because we forgot to add the successor. So once we are changing the state of 1 to deprecated, we always have to add the successor, so the view that is now the one that will be used. So here we add our supplier, and then we can deploy our view. So you get a warning message that we change states. So we can just deploy and then save once again. Then we get at the top the warning that we are now in a deprecated view. That's just for information. And then if we go to the states, we see the warning that I mentioned before about having to wait at least 2 years. So that's what is mentioned right here. So then for data integration, we have quite a few releases actually. And the first one is the SQL on files. So with the SQL on files, we can access data that's stored in the embedded object stores using SQL. So this means that instead of copying our data into our system to work with it, we can actually directly query on the data without having to copy it. So for what does this mean for us? So we don't have to access, we can access data without copying it, and the data appears like any other stored data. Also, the data redundancy is being reduced, and we ensure data consistency.
Quite some nice features.
Indeed.
So then we go over to Spark Compute, which is going to be a very new feature in the embedded data lake of DataSphere. So what can you do with it? So users can create transformations flow that leverage the Spark Compute to transform and create data, but they can also store the data in local tables on the embedded data lake. This feature still has to come up, but it has a lot of benefits. For example, it is actually a new additional compute engine for efficient processing, as well as enhancing the data transformations and processing capabilities. So it is all built on the existing SAP DataSphere integration tools. Of course, this comes with a lot of benefits. So
yes. Then we have the last feature of the data integration, which is the semantic onboarding, the import calculation views from SAP HANA. So this feature supports the hybrid modeling approach between SAP HANA Cloud and SAP DataSphere. So in concrete, this means that we can import our SAP HANA calculation views into DataSphere, and by using the semantic onboarding option, we can get all the details of the calculation views, like the measures, the attributes, and the labels are being preserved in Datasphere. So this results in that we maintain investments in modeling capabilities for SAP HANA Cloud, and that organizations can use the skills and knowledge that they already have without having to invest in a new approach.
Interesting. Further up in data modeling, we have a very small feature, but one that is quite nice when you're prompting. So we can now define the order of variables in user prompts. So in our data preview, in our analytic model, as well as in SAP Analytics Cloud, in our stories, and it's basically a drag and drop feature. So let's see it in action. So here I have my analytical model. And when I scroll down to my variables, you can see here I have controlling area, product, and sales org. So let's say I want to put my sales org at the top.
Mm-hmm.
When I go to my preview, I can see that it's at the top. Also for deletion, it changes the order, so you have to note that as well. But it's going to be very nice for a few clients.
Indeed, cool. It will come very handy. So this was it for the Datasphere innovations. We had the object release date for the views. We had for data integration the SQL files, the Spark Compute, and the semantic onboarding. And the data modeling was about the flexible prompting. So this concludes this release of the fourth quarter of 2024. It was quite a big and nice one. So if you would like to know more, please visit our page down below and follow us on LinkedIn for more information about Flexo and SAP. Thank you for watching and hope to see you in 2025.
Goodbye.
Bye.